Hello there, good people. Welcome to It's a Shaw Thing. I'm your host, Rob Shaw, getting ready for the weekend. We're talking some matchups for Week 14 in the NFL. And we start off with an exciting one between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Texans. Sounds like we should expect a shootout there. Matt Hasselbeck, Nate Burleson, the two guys to recognize for Seattle. As far as Houston, Kevin Walter, Andre Johnson. Now remember, Steve Slayton out for the remainder of the season because of an injury. So if you're considering starting a running back there, and I recommend you avoid them, maybe Chris Brown is the way to go. But obviously, Matthew Schaub is the guy who's going to put up the most points. We move on to Buffalo versus Kansas City. Just like we just talked about a passing duel, this is a game that's going to be focused on the ground. Two horrendous rushing defenses going at it for Buffalo. I start both of them. I'm talking Marshawn Lynch and Fred Jackson. As far as Kansas City, 4 consecutive weeks with a touchdown, Jamal Charles should have himself a day. Now talking St. Louis against the Tennessee Titans. The Titans been putting up great fantasy numbers even last weekend against the undefeated Colts. Vince Young throwing for over 240 yards, over 100 yards rushing from Chris Johnson. Both those guys are must-starts this weekend. As far as St. Louis, the only guy to consider starting is Steven Jackson, their star running back. Other than that, oh boy, Kyle Bowler is their quarterback, by the way. And finally, Washington versus Oakland. Two pretty pathetic teams going at it, but two teams that just enjoyed very fine performances last weekend. Washington almost beating New Orleans, Oakland defeating the Pittsburgh Steelers. So who to expect from those guys? Well, how about some young receivers? Devin Thomas for the Washington Redskins put up huge numbers last weekend. And Lewis Murphy, all these young wide receivers to get excited about in the draft with the 7th pick overall. They were saying maybe Michael Crabtree. That ends up being Howard Bay. But how about 4th round Lewis Murphy with better numbers than any of those guys? He put up huge numbers last weekend with Bruce Kwiatkowski now at quarterback. Murphy, if you're a little desperate, you're willing to roll the dice a little bit, go ahead and start Lewis Murphy this week. Well, my friends, those are all the intriguing matchups for Week 14 in the NFL. I'll see you during the aftermath. I'm Rob Shaw, signing out.